So, how Chanakya's Arthashastra and all the Chanakya's learning can help an Indian entrepreneur in blooming their business in this pandemic?
Yeah. So please understand this. There are two things. One is Indian entrepreneur, and the second situation of pandemic, or what we have the
Yeah,
current lockdown because of the coronavirus, COVID-19. So Indians naturally are entrepreneurs. Okay. What is the meaning of entrepreneur? Many times we confuse entrepreneurship with startups and businessmen.
yeah,
Entrepreneurship comes from a very interesting word that is called enterprise. Somebody who has got the will to do something is actually an enterprising person. And with that will, that determination, with that energy, with that enthusiasm and inspiration, if you start something, then you are actually an entrepreneur. So if you look at it, I think Indians always experimented with ideas, always, not only in the business ideas, they are the ones who discovered fields of mathematics, from zero to
yeah,
infinity and everything in between, science, technology. So I think for tradition, our Indian culture always had an entrepreneurial spirit. They were very adventurous. They climbed the mountains and built temples in Kedarnath and Yamunotri, Gangotri. At the same time, they went to the depth of the sea and found out so many principles of oceans. So what
yeah,
I'm saying, we already have it in our genes to actually understand what is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is actually taking a risk, okay, of
yeah,
something unknown. So our rishis took a risk of actually experimenting with God also, and they actually realized themselves called moksha. So all of
yeah,
us are fortunate to be born in a country where entrepreneurship or taking the high risk is a part of our thinking already. Now coming to the modern day Indian entrepreneur, and we directly apply to the entrepreneurship in the business field. Okay, I think for so many generations we've been thinking like followers. We were studying to get a job.
yeah.
Okay, we were not studying to become an
Correct.
entrepreneur.
100%.
And one of my formulas has been this very clear that instead of looking out for a job, think about creating jobs. Now, if you look at it, almost 99% of Indians get educated because they want to get a job, maybe a government
Yeah,
job or a private job.
100%.
I think the first thing that Indian people think should do is to think like an entrepreneur. So what are we supposed to do? Number one is to take the risk, but don't take a risk without calculation. So take a calculated risk. Second thing is to have a mentor. Whenever you're doing something unknown, you have to have somebody who can guide you. As they say, even in the spiritual path, you require a spiritual guru. So any
Yeah,
field you go in, you
100%.
require a mentor or a guru. So entrepreneurship also, you should have some guru who will train you. And the third thing is you should have a long-term commitment. A lot of people, try something, it doesn't work, they change. Then it doesn't work, they keep doing
100%.
multiple things, but unfortunately, they never actually become truly an entrepreneur. Succeed in one venture and then duplicate it. Don't keep duplicating without success. Now coming to
100%.
the current situation of pandemic, as you said, I always believe that there are different challenges that will keep coming to entrepreneurs. So right now it is pandemic. Maybe after a few months it will be over, and you'll have new challenges. But an entrepreneur is never having a temporary approach because of some challenging situation. So situations will keep changing, challenges will keep changing, but entrepreneurship should always be committed to face the challenges. So currently,
Wow.
yes, there is a challenge. There are financial issues. People are not sure. I think nobody is sure anywhere in the world. No government and no president or prime minister or chief minister is sure what's going to happen next. And no businessman is also sure about it. But they're saying, instead of looking at the dark side, there is some white side also. Okay, so what the ways of looking at the pandemic situation? Number one is that look at the positive side. At least when you're not able to go out, okay, so the government is telling you until it's very important,
Yeah,
don't go out. But even at home, you can actually use lot of things to maybe keep your work going on. So there is a concept of work from home. We have
yeah,
technology with us. Now we are speaking, and we are using
yes,
technology through an Instagram live so that we can think about how to do business at home also. And therefore I suggest that this is probably the nature's way of telling us that don't keep running too much. Sometimes thinking is very important. So you'd be surprised that I would look at this as a very positive state for entrepreneurs, where the nature has told, take a break. You have been driving too fast. Now just stop your car, fill up your petrol, make sure your engine is working properly, do some checks and balances, and
yes,
then start again. So I'm saying that instead of worrying about what's going to happen to my business, start thinking about my business. And as you rightly pointed out, there is a subject of thinking called as anvikshiki, which means think what is the thing to do, what to do, and what not to do. In the same lockdown period, I've been so positive that I've been looking at my business from a new perspective. I've written 3 books. I'm advising thousands of people directly, indirectly through these shows. So I would say that, entrepreneurship always should have positive outlook. Okay. And remember one thing, situations will come and go, but entrepreneurs' determination should always stay. Situations will come and go, but the determination of an entrepreneur should always stay. So be it the pandemic situation or a normal situation, your spirit of fighting and becoming a winner should always be there. That spirit should not die. And definitely don't think about dying yourself before death comes. A lot of people get into mental stress and think about funny ideas of giving up their body also. No. Chanakya will never accept somebody who gives up. Okay? So walk up, wake up, and start running towards the goal that you have decided. So now is the time for thinking, and when everything will be normal, you will have to keep running and flying. So prepare now for a great future. That is what we should think about very positively in this situation.